Good morning, everyone, and thank you all for joining us here at City Hall Council Chambers. My name is Noraida Negron. I'm the Public Information Manager for the City of Laredo. Today, it is a very important day, and I know we raise awareness about this every single year, but it feels like we do. We need to continue to do this every single year, and I would say on a regular basis. We're here to proclaim Denim Day, which is against sexual violence prevention and education. It's a campaign that has existed for quite some time, and we're going to talk about that in just a bit. But first, I wanted to kind of mention, kind of go over some of the guests that we have with us this morning. First and foremost, our Mayor of the City of Laredo, Dr. Victor Di Trevino, and his wife, Ms. Rosa Marquez de Trevino. Also with us is Council Member for District 3, the Honorable Melissa Cigarroa. Also with us this morning, we have Police Chief Miguel Rodriguez Jr. And also representing Congressman Henry Correa's office is Melissa Peña. Executive Director of AHAC, Dr. Julie Basan. Director of the Webb County Children Advocacy Center, Ms. Severita Sanchez. And we also have with us Sister Rosemary Welsh. Thank you so much for being with us. We also have other representatives from the Laredo Health Department and, of course, from the Laredo Police Department. So thank you all for being with us today. I would like to ask our mayor to come up to the podium to say a few words first.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, Dr. Victor Trevino, Mayor for the City of Laredo. We're here to bring awareness and support survivors of sexual assault. Most of us know the background behind this movement, and we also know someone that has been sexually assaulted in our community, family, or may have lived through the traumatic situations ourselves. It is also a turning point in our history where comments like, because she was wearing tight jeans, she must have consented to being sexually assaulted. This is an ugly thing of the past, where there's no means, now not the standard in our community. So as mayor, I would like you to support the movement and support survivors of sexual assault by wearing blue jeans and make sure that we educate our youth on what is acceptable and what it is to be learned at an early age. This is where our humanity begins, so that our community continues to be a safe, family-oriented community for generations to come. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor, and you'll read the proclamation right after. I would like to give the opportunity to speak to our council member, Melissa Cigarroa.
Good morning. I'm very happy to be here to affirm the rights of women to simply exist and have dreams and live their lives with dignity and respect. I think in our culture, we tend to pin the blame on machismo. We're very machismo culture here, and oh, that's a terrible thing, or it can be, I should say. But I remember a time when machismo meant respect for women, that there was a sense of caring not only for girlfriends and wives, but mothers and daughters. And so the ugliness of what this phrase is turned to, we need to reclaim it and understand that today, as the mayor was saying, our standard is respect for every individual, that they do not have to live under the fear of violence simply because they are physically weaker or they are in a station below the person that is threatening them, that everyone deserves to live their lives with dignity, respect, and a dream for the future. So I hope our community gets behind this effort. I think more and more awareness is being raised. I know Sister Rosemary does such a beautiful job with Casa Misericordia, showing that there are safe places in our community, so that if any woman And she'll tell you also, any man feels threatened by sexual violence, that there is a place to call, there is a place to go. There are people in our community who care and respect life. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember, for those words. To talk a little bit more about the Denim Day history and why we are here, I would like to ask our Police Department Crime Victims Coordinator, Ms. Norma Garcia.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for being here. Today, we are all gathered here to speak about what Denim Day is and how it came about. As we all know here, we all work closely with these type of cases and encounter these situations, sadly, day in and day out. People of all ages. This crime does not discriminate anybody. And so what happened is that back in the 1990s, there was a female victim who was a victim of sexual assault by her driving instructor in Italy. He was sent to jail, but then years later, he appealed the verdict, right, that he was guilty. And so the court in Italy actually overturned his conviction, saying that because the argument was that because the young woman was wearing tight jeans, she must have helped him remove the jeans, implying consent. And that is the biggest word that we're using, implying consent. And that is why we're gathered here today to announce to the community that no means no. That just because the victim stays quiet or even aids the perpetrator in removing any garment does not indicate or imply that she is approving the sexual interaction. Okay, so another thing that I would like to add to that is that rape also occurs in marriages. That is something that we also want to stress out to the community, that just because your wife or your husband is who they are in partnership, it does not imply that you can force them to have sexual relations with that person. That is something that I think that we also need to bring light to, because going back to what you said about the machismo, we think, oh, it's part of our culture, sorry. She or he is my wife or my husband, and it's their duty, it's their obligation as a partner, and that is incorrect. Since 1994, all 50 states have criminalized rape, in marital rape, and that is also why we're here. And one last thing that I wanted to shed light to also is, the wearing jeans again, that just the way that we dress, or anybody, female, male, child, anybody, the way that they're dressed does not indicate, or it is not an invitation for anybody to take advantage, because they're out partying, they're out dressed in a certain way. Even if they're under the influence of alcohol or drugs, it does not mean that the person or anybody can take advantage of them. And so that is why we are here today, asking for our mayor to proclaim Denim Day, so that we can all, spread the awareness to our community, which is much needed, so that everybody can join us that day to wear jeans as a form of protest, the way it started back in the 1990s in another part of the world. And we brought it over here because it's something that happens all over the world, apparently. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Ms. Garcia. And to talk a little bit more about our stats here locally and what the police department does, I will ask our police chief, Miguel Rodriguez, to come up to say a few words.
Thank you. Good morning. Well, first and foremost, Mayor, thank you for being here with us today, proclaiming, Denim Day on April 30th, and also Councilwoman Melissa Cigarroa also for being here with us today and supporting this, but also the advocates, Dr. Sanchez, Julie, sister. I know that you're always in these events and creating awareness, not only for the cause that we're always pushing, right, which is domestic violence and sexual assaults, but also do want to thank our special victims units that are here with us today, and our command, our leadership and our command from criminal investigations, which they're always very passionate about these cases, right? And we wouldn't be addressing this so proper if it wasn't because of the passion that they have for their cases. Over 500 cases a year has a lot of cases, too many cases. And so here we are again another year, right, proclaiming and creating this awareness and doing what can we do different, what can we do better. And so about Denim Day, today we gather here in solidarity for Denim Day, a day that represents our shared commitment to raising awareness about sexual assault and supporting survivors in their journey towards healing. Denim Day began as a response to a harmful injustice, a reminder that clothing is never an invitation for violence. And on April 30, by wearing denim, we take a stand against victim blaming and affirm that consent and respect must be the foundation of our community. The Laredo Police Department is proud to stand with survivors and advocates. We recognize that real safety means fostering an environment where every voice is heard, every story is respected, and every person is protected. Fighting sexual violence requires all of us, law enforcement, community leaders, families, and friends, working together with compassion, strength, unwavering commitment. On behalf of the Laredo Police Department, I proclaim our support for Denim Day and encourage all residents of our city to join us, not just today, but every day, in building a safer, more respectful Laredo for all. And again, the reason that we're here today is create awareness, but it shouldn't be just one day. It should be every day. Every time that we have a conversation, whether it's with family or friends, the conversation talks about this, and we say how important it is that we bring up these issues, not only within family, but also to the authorities and the advocates and the counselors, also in school, that we need to bring this issue as for the awareness part. Nonetheless, I do want to thank everybody that is here, and I want to make sure that we have an open door to every situation that comes our way at the police department, whether it's sexual assault, domestic violence, or any violence against women. We open our doors and making sure that we help every single one of them. So again, thank you very much for being here today. I'm going to join the mayor now to do this proclamation, and anybody that wishes to come up, that's where we can read that proclamation. Thank you.
Office of the Mayor, City of Laredo, Texas, proclamation. Whereas, the month of April is National Sexual Assault Awareness Month, calling attention to the fact that sexual assault and harassment is widespread and harms our community. Whereas, every 2 minutes, someone in America is sexually assaulted, and approximately 1 in 5 women and 1 in 33 men are raped during their lifetime, and about 75% of harassment victims experience retaliation when they reported it. Whereas, the Denim Day movement is a worldwide effort that started as a grassroots protest against an Italian Supreme Court decision in which a sexual assault conviction was overturned because the victim was wearing tight jeans at the time of the attack. Whereas, Denim Day encourages everyone to stand in solidarity with survivors of sexual violence and speak up when they hear comments that blame victims or make light of sexual harassment and assault. Whereas, together, when we change how we think and talk about the issue, we can create a culture of respect, equality, and safety for our citizens. Whereas, with proper education on matter and comprehensive prevention projects, sexual violence and its unfair and traumatizing effects are preventable. Whereas, the City of Laredo strongly supports all law enforcement crime victims investigation units and the community support groups that bring light to this grave matter by bringing assistance in efforts to heal victims, educate the community, and stop sexual violence before it starts. Now, therefore, I, Dr. Victor D. Trevino, by the virtue of the authority vested in me as Mayor of the City of Laredo, County of Webb, State of Texas, do hereby proclaim April 28th, April 30th, 2025 as Denim Day in Laredo, Texas, and urge all Laredoans to wear jeans on Denim Day to help spread awareness about the physical and emotional trauma that accompanies sexual assault and to show our support for survivors in our community. You want to do it here or in the back? Yeah, let's do it in the back. Let's do it in the back.
I don't think you three are gonna come out. You want me to get closer or go to the back? Over here too. I don't think you guys are gonna come out. You want me to go to the back or closer? Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Right over there. Perfect. Thank you.